How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. It's overreaction. It's overreaction Saturday. It ain't even Sunday. It ain't even Monday. It ain't Monday. It ain't Saturday. It's overreaction 5 minutes after the football game's over because I am pumped. Chilling victory, to say the very least, by the Cincinnati Bengals to win one in overtime. A Cincinnati Bengals football team that had, there's no question, they had to win this one. I mean, there was a slight chance if they win out after this one, they still make the playoffs, but they had to win this one in particular. It was a must-win football game. The defense had a chance for that pick six late and say, oh, that was the game. Hendrickson goes off. Or a hold tongue right there. We're seeing it slow down frame by frame quite a few times. It looked like, if he was an offensive lineman, it was obviously a false start, but there ain't false starts in defense. You can jump the play as long as you don't go off sides. And we watch, Trey Hendrickson, he jumps up, you can see him moving, but it almost looked like a perfectly snapped jump by Trey Hendrickson to where the ball was being snapped when he was starting to cross the line. But, he was getting up before the ball was snapped, but it almost looked perfectly timed. Nonetheless, that would have been a pick six. Didn't affect the play, but it did affected the result, of course, because I had to call the play back. You say that we've seen this in the last week as well. Last week, 2 weeks ago, where the Bengals defense makes a mistake, and then they allow the team to go down the field and score off that mistake, and you say, uh-oh. Now the offense has got to do something. But what the Bengals offense do this game, they did something. Down 14 points in the third or in the fourth quarter. Jake Browning and company, you could see it. He was flustered. He was mad at himself. He wasn't mad at anybody else. He was mad at himself. You could see it. He was getting emotional on the field. He was shaking his head a lot. He said, ugh. You could tell he was losing a little bit of confidence out there. And I mentioned, I was talking about, I was like, hey, what Jake Browning needs right now is a couple easy hitters. He needs to get a couple quick passes. He needs something to get the confidence going. And we've seen it. Shortly after that, he got the confidence, came back. He's still making some deep throws. He's making some nice throws. We've seen HIggins. What a season it's been for HIggins. It's been a roller coaster for this young man. The injuries, the drop passes. He's definitely not the season he was hoping to have. I mean, even today, we've seen the drop pass, a couple passes he probably thought he should have caught. He should have caught early in the game. The one that hit the ground. But the end of this game, that Jamar Chase goes down, and that switch just flicks. And HIggins' head and said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. T's here to take care of business. I mean, he makes a couple contested catches. What is arguably one of the plays of the year, where HIggins goes up in coverage there on that goal line throw by Jake Browning, comes out of the end zone, comes back into play, jumps up in there, and makes an acrobatic catch. And forget about trying to stay in bounds, which I thought was impressive alone. This man stays in bounds, coming up to gets both feet down, and then stretches the football across, contorts his body to stretch the football across the pylon to get a touchdown. That was incredible by HIggins. We see him make a couple game-changing plays late in this game. Was like, and I was just thinking about, we watched Justin Jefferson play. It's like, man, you know what the Bengals have really been missing, and what we really missed out of AJ Green is you could just chuck it up there. And when you seen AJ Green down there, one-on-one coverage, you knew he was catching it every single time. Double coverage, you felt like you catch it. And we started to see glimpses of that once again out of HIggins. He's got the size, he's got the ability to do it. I felt like that's what it started to feel late in that game. It felt like, and you seen Jake do it, like, just chuck it up there. Just chuck it up, and T's feeling it right now. And they're going to need that because Jamar Chase goes down to that shoulder injury. Who knows how long he's out. DJ Reader possibly out for the year. Yeah, a couple offensive linemen next thing. It was a lot. It was a bloodbath of injuries. But at the end of the day, all those injuries, all those concerns, and this Bengals team was this resilient in a game they had to win, a game they had to have. The defense makes a couple big turnovers in this football game, keeping the Vikings out of the end zone. The defense makes a couple turnovers in this game where you say, hey, they don't make those turnovers. They had a chance to double up at half. They had a chance to really bust this one wide open. Holds them to a field goal. Mike Hilton, I don't know why. I don't know why I was thinking I was wrong. Hilton makes them stops. The first down play, made that big run blitz stop, holds them there, second and long, then forces the third and long. The defense doesn't. That's where all of a sudden Nick Mullins, he makes that mistake, and Hilton comes down at the interception. Game-changing drives like that. The defense, this Lou Anarumo defense that we've seen year in and year out now, make the big plays that keeps the offense in the game. And it's tough. It's tough when you have a quarterback that is a backup quarterback, and you see him out there struggling, confidence kind of down a little bit, not feeling himself, a little emotional on the field, and you see the offense struggling, and there's a chance that trickles down. And in a lot of locker rooms it does, and a lot of teams it does. You see that kind of branch out to the defense. The defense doesn't play as well. They start to allow some points. The game's all of a sudden over. But you cannot credit Zach Taylor enough. You cannot credit Lou Anarumo enough for building a locker room, for building a culture where this team never gives up. To be in that situation, to put Browning in that situation, to believe in your offense, to put points on the board that late in the game when you had 3 points going in late in the game, you gotta tip your cap off to him. And you gotta love what the defense did here to execute. I mean, let's talk about overtime. Bengals get the football first. They got a chance to win the game. Don't even give the ball to the Vikings. All the momentum in the world. We've seen that pass interference that did not get called against HIggins. Now, credit, we'll say this about the officials. They let them play all game. So in that regard, they was consistent. They let him play all game. But I mean, he had a hand. He had HIggins jersey like this the entire play. He had him for 20 yards downfield like that. Easily could have been called. Easily could have. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't see every other play during the game that could have been like that. It's like, hey, if that's how they was calling a game, that's how they call a game. You kind of have to respect that, as tough as it is in the moment. If they was calling a loose game, they was calling a loose game. They was staying consistent. You got to appreciate that officiating. Nonetheless, you say, all right, let's give the Vikings the ball. Vikings move the football down the field. They're across the 50. All of a sudden, it's 2nd and short. They could have kicked a 61-yard field goal right then and there. 2nd and 1. First down, you assume probably ends the game. 2nd and 1. They go with the QB draw. They don't get it. 3rd and 1. They go with the QB draw. Defense stands up strong. They don't get it again. 4th and 1. For sure, you can pick up 1 yard on a QB draw. You would imagine if you tried a QB draw 3 straight plays, that 99% of the time, in one of those plays, you was going to score. And this Cincinnati Bengals defense finds a way to stop this team. It was remarkable. It was remarkable to watch the fight, to watch this football. It was one of the best football games I've seen the Cincinnati Bengals play in a long time. Now, as far as a complete dominating win, obviously it wasn't there. There was holes. But to see the way this team was resilient, to see the way they came together, they played their best ball when they needed to, knowing their season was on the line, was impressive. I couldn't be more proud of the way this Cincinnati football team played today. Hats off to these guys. A big W. Game of the year for the Bengals, I think. Game of the year. Not for the season, but for the Bengals, oh boy. Playoffs are still alive. Bengals going to jump into what looks to be a playoff spot now at the end of this weekend after everything plays out. And they control their own destiny from here. Jake Browning leg. Jake Cool? Jake Burr? I don't think we can call him Jake Burr. Well, we could, though. I'm just saying. We ain't got to take that from Joe Burr. But hey, he was starting to scramble a little bit there late in the game. We mentioned, say, hey, Jake, those times he just needed to take the yards, scramble out a little bit. You got to imagine the coaching staff, Joe Burrow, probably talked to him during that football game and said, hey, look, they're giving me some space. They're giving me a chance to extend some plays, and he did it. He extended some plays, and we've seen him take some chances. It was funny because early in the game, I said, hey, the one thing that Jake Browning's missing that Joe Burrow's got is Joe Burrow, he's got that sense in the pocket. He's going to see that space. He's going to take it. He's going to run. He's going to extend those plays. Now, we didn't see Browning scramble for a lot of yards at the middle when he had him, but we did see him extend plays and swing that rock down the football field and make some plays. And boy, was he playing some good football. I mean, again, he's a young man. Yeah, we've seen him make that bad throw in double coverage. Hey, guess what? If he's going to make one bad mistake every game or every game, possibly every 2 games like that, this young in his career, it's going to happen. How he answered, though, how he composed himself, how he took this football team down to win, that tells me everything I need to know about this young man. Confidence in this team. Anyway, I love y'all's thoughts. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.